Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tabwa.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilay Tiambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
In the news tonight, 24 hours given to serve petition. Social media critics won't help health sector. And more resources for MPs.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The Suva High Court has this afternoon ruled against an application by the lawyers of the Social Democratic Liberal Party and the National Federation Party to serve legal notice against the 27 government MPs to the General Secretary of the Fiji First Party. Representing SEDELPA and NFP, lawyer Filimoni Vosarongo says they made numerous attempts to serve the 27 candidates of Fiji First, but this hasn't been successful, and wanted to serve the notices for all to the Fiji First General Secretary. This is in the case of legal redress, which was filed by SEDELPA and the NFP to legally challenge the outcome of the 2018 general election. Catherine Krishna reports.
High Court judges Angela Wati and Kamal Kumar, while dismissing the application, has told lawyers of SEDELPA and NFP that they must serve legal notices to the 27 Fiji First MPs individually in the next 24 hours. The petitioners' lawyers told the court they've only been able to deliver the legal notice to the Supervisor of Elections, Mohammed Sanim, which was served at 5:47 p.m. yesterday. Lawyer Filimoni Vosarongo had made the application, arguing that some government members of the parliament are out of the country and others are spread out across the nation, hence wanting to serve the notices to the Fiji First General Secretary Ayaz Said Kayum. Fiji First lawyers told the court that the petitioners need to serve all members of Fiji First personally, and there was no evidence to show that there was any effort made to serve the legal notice. They also informed the court that no affidavit was filed and the application is incomplete. The petitioners were then told that they had 24 hours to serve the remaining respondents, and the learned judges also stating that if the respondents are not served within the next 24 hours, the application will be struck out. The petitioners have been given time till 4 p.m. tomorrow to file. The court will then make a decision on the next course of action. Meanwhile, Unity Fiji has separately applied a legal redress, and the court has told the party to file all necessary affidavits by tomorrow. Both cases will now be called on December 13th. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
Health Minister Dr. Efiremi Wangai-Nambete says criticising nurses and doctors does not help the services provided by the Health Ministry. He says our health officials need to be appreciated as they work in an environment with a lot of risks. Ali Kimbia with the story.
Just a few months into his new role as a Health Minister, Dr. Efiremi Wangai-Nambete says health officials around the country deserves to be respected.
You know, I would like the nation to recognize and appreciate the work that's been done, and the fact that we need to enhance it. We need to keep on moving forward. We need to keep on forging forward.
At times, our health services have been criticized on social media with negative comments on services provided at various hospitals. Dr. Wangai-Nambete says incidents do happen, and our nurses and doctors give their all to provide the best medical assistance.
There's a lot of risks involved in being a health official or working in the health service. Obviously, as you know, when somebody comes in with a very severe communicable disease, they're also at risk.
Dr. Wangai-Nambete says the Health Ministry will continue to find avenues to improve services provided at various health centers and hospitals.
Really what we need to do is actually enhance the good work that we already have. Keep on pushing forward and forging forward. Pay attention to detail, and that will be the way forward for us.
With government seeking to improve the health sector, Dr. Wangai-Nambete says the onus is on quality health service for all Fijians. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Parliamentarians will be better equipped and resourced. Secretary General to Parliament Viniana Namosima Lua says with the full 4 years behind them, many lessons have been learned on what they can do better in the new term. Maggie Boyle reports.
All 51 MPs can expect from next year to have mobile phones, laptops and tablets to better assist them with their work.
What we've been able to do is set aside a certain amount to be able to purchase items that will help members of Parliament do their work and enable them to prepare effectively before sittings.
Also high on the agenda is increasing parliamentary staff to assist with Hansard and committee reports.
There are issues around verbatims that are provided to the committees. So those are gaps that we've seen in the last term, and we are going to work very hard to ensure that that improves in this term.
Meanwhile, newly elected chair for the Public Accounts Committee, Alvik Maharaj, has elaborated on how his committee will operate.
Like for example for PEC, right, it is there to actually scrutinize the spending of the government, not actually discussing the policies of the government, right? So that is something that will be actually closely monitoring, that once we are actually in these kind of committees, we are actually not discussing the government policies but the spending of the ministries.
Parliament's next one-week sitting is scheduled for the 11th of February. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
The government will be looking at a number of areas that are needed to be addressed over the next few years. Acting Prime Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum has outlined a few plans they will focus on, adding that things cannot happen overnight. Felipe Naikaso with the details.
Big plans are ahead for the nation, including moving into a cashless society, revamping the Landlord and Tenants Act, as well as business trading laws. And Fiji could even see the setup of its first arbitration center.
In the budget we announced in 2018-2019, we've set aside funding to subsidize small shops to have point-of-sale machines, those POS machines we call them. If you go now at the moment, if you go to a shop and you want to use your ATM card or your ATM card with them, they'll say minimum sale $10. I can walk into a shop in New Zealand, buy a bottle of water with my ATM card. And I've said to people, I want people very soon in Fiji to be able to buy some Chinese lolly with the ATM card.
Acting Prime Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum adds they're also looking at ways to ensure people are paid electronically.
I'm sure many of you would have seen people working at construction sites. And on a Friday, they would be getting paid a brown envelope or getting paid cash. We want that to stop. One of the best ways of doing that is also paying them electronically on their phones. Dr. Liu, who is the great architect of Singapore, is in fact going to be looking at our laws in Fiji and changing the development plans, in particular to the municipalities. We have a very old mindset, colonial mindset.
The acting Prime Minister adds they want to ensure that in a few years' time, they want people to be able to order and pay for things online from any shop in Fiji. Felipe Naikaso, FBC News.
Still to come, early Christmas for Lambasa senior citizens and targeted action to reduce gas emissions needed. Details after the break.
Bula, neva ngo malakai leloma, ngo ngai nakas on makarong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Hoya uvasit sai sa Lambasa, ya ndo talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Gua do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Wana tuna ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere nawaluan.
Neva ngo fane na tao no ngo singa toka, kita ndo talita ka ng Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Bula FM, nambang 2 na sere.
Christmas came early for the residents of the Golden Age home in Lambasa today with a visit by the President Chochi Kondrote bearing Christmas goodies. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
It was an emotional moment for many of the residents of the Golden Age home in Lambasa today when they personally met with the President Chochi Kondrote.
You're fine? How long has he been in the home? Long time? Has he got a family around the hospital? Do they come and visit? Recently? No? I'd like to talk to the family.
This is the first time the head of state is visiting the Golden Age home in Lambasa. Established in 1956, the home currently has 30 residents, many of whom have been here for decades now.
We are happy about him coming to visit us, for taking out his time. We are thankful for him coming to visit us on this festive season.
After meeting the residents, the president toured the facilities at the Golden Age home, which will soon be undergoing an upgrade. He also commended the staff for their hard work.
But I'd like to acknowledge and thank the hard-working staff. Thank you for your perseverance, thank you for your commitment in looking after our elders over the last couple of years. It's not easy, I know.
The president is in Lambasa as part of his yearly visit to old people's homes, children's homes and hospitals to spread the Christmas cheer. He ends his two-day visit today. Elano Turangibio, FBC News.
Pacific Island communities don't need science to tell them that climate change is already impacting them, says Fiji's high-level climate champion Inia Seruratu. Speaking at the COP24 Marrakesh Partnership on Oceans, Coastal Zones and Transport, Seruratu highlighted on the urgent need to cut down on greenhouse gas emissions. Ritika Pratap has more.
Being an island country, Fiji depends heavily on maritime transport, and the commitment to have zero net emission by 2050 must be met, says the high-level climate champion.
As we all know, without targeted action, emissions from maritime transport will continue to grow, and there is no single solution to decarbonizing shipping. It will need operational changes, alternative fuels, technological advances, and the right policy environment.
Inia Seruratu says even the ports are vulnerable to the impacts of climate change.
We have witnessed this firsthand in the Pacific when Category 5 Cyclone Winston made landfall in Fiji in 2016. A number of our wharves and ports were severely damaged and rendered unusable. This had drastic impacts on the lives of our local communities and businesses.
It's a known fact that emissions from the shipping sector make up for the bulk of greenhouse gas emissions in some small island states.
Ports can be and are already starting to be part of the solution, providing bunkers for alternative fuels, power infrastructure incentives such as green port fees.
The Marrakesh Partnership events at COP24 aims to strengthen the collaboration for greater pre-2020 mitigation and adaptation actions and to identify specific policy options and solutions that assist parties. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Jerusalem yesterday. During their meeting, they discussed Fiji's outsized global leadership in preserving peace and protecting the climate. Netanyahu says terrorism and climate change are forces that no nation can fight alone. He noted Israel and Fiji proudly stand together in taking on these common enemies. A faulty air conditioning unit triggered smoke at the MHCC building in Suva yesterday. The National Fire Authority says the origin of the problem was located in a unit on level 1 of the building's car park. The smoke triggered the fire sprinkler system, which quickly snuffed out the problem before it could cause further damage. Chief Fire Officer Ngionilao Modetai says they will investigate further to determine the cause of the fire, but today it was business as usual.
We received a call from our monitoring system at 1915, and we've dispatched our fire machines from our station from 1916. We arrived there in 1919. On arrival, that we saw that there's been a lot of smoke in the building, and we managed to detect where it originated.
The Indian government has provided further financial assistance to Fiji's Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises program. Indian High Commissioner to Fiji, Viswa Sapkal, yesterday gave a cheque of over $2 million to Industry and Trade Minister Pramila Kumar. While receiving the grant, Kumar said it was a special occasion not only for the Fijian government but for the grassroots people as well. She says Fiji needs to expand its economy further, and nothing is better than looking after micro enterprises.
We know how much talents are there in India. We've seen how your economy has grown through this sector, and there's so much to learn from So these are the initial interventions in this area, but we'd like to learn more in this area. So thank you for the financial assistance. It'll go a long way for our people.
Coming up in sports later with Jamie, Fiji Mbati star Jared Hayne to fight allegations of sexually assaulting a woman, but Rachel joins you now with business.
Thank you, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Supermarkets at war over chicken prices. An ingoing Fiji facelift plan for all ports. Stay with us.
Lola, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Koroko, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic.
Leading business tonight, a large number of investors continue to show confidence in the Fijian economy, particularly filtered through the investments in the South Pacific Stock Exchange. Now, in its monthly trading report, the SPSC reveals to date 181 new investors have entered the stock market over the 12 months of this year. Despite 2018 being our general election year, November alone witnessed 13 new investors entering the stock market. 8 existing investors were seen to be re-entering the market either through increasing their existing holdings or diversifying. Looking at the age range, young investors continues to top the table. The market overall grew by 2.85% in November, which is 61.87% increase compared to November 2017. With Christmas just around the corner, supermarkets are promoting the sale of chicken at reduced prices. Now, this could spark a supermarket price war for chicken. Kritika Kumar reports.
Chicken will never be a miss in every Fijian family's Christmas spread, whether it be lovo, barbecue, curry or even roasted. This has forced supermarkets to drop their chicken prices to very low prices during this festive season. Extra Supermarket, which opened for business in Suva last month, says price comparison is a major factor that affects the sale of chicken.
Every week we're doing our specials there. That we compare all the supermarket prices, then we put it low price like that.
Vijendra Naikar says they are doing their best to cater for the market demand.
Like we order it like 3 times a week. All the delivery is coming, and I got enough stocks for this.
Meanwhile, FBC News visited some of the prominent supermarkets and tabled the chicken prices. FBC News can confirm the supermarket war has already begun, with the public seen as the real winners.
I think the competition of price is very good.
The competition in a price of a chicken is really good and it's really beneficial.
Yeah, the competition of the prices of the chicken it's good enough for us. It benefits the customers a lot.
The Extra Supermarket branch manager says they look forward to dropping lower prices of goods to their customers. Meanwhile, attempts to get comments from other big supermarket chains proved futile as some did not want to front the camera. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the Money World.
The focus was on Britain today after Prime Minister Theresa May abruptly postponed a parliamentary vote on her Brexit agreement. This saw global risk assets take a hit while the pound came under pressure. Separately, disappointing data from major economies including China and Japan got the traders concerned about global economic activity. The ongoing Sino-US trade battle has also clouded the outlook for world growth. The US Federal Reserve is, however, set to raise rates next week as the economy is running well above potential, with inflation remaining on target. But whether or not the Fed will maintain the same tone next year is something the traders are trying hard to determine. And that's it from HFC Bank for now. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. On to the exchange rates as it was set this morning. The Fiji dollar rose strongly against all the currencies we follow, including the regional dollars such as the Australian and PNG Kina, except the Kiwi dollar. Looking at the commodities market, it was a drop across the board today. Oil was down at $51 per barrel. Gold closed down as well at $1,244 an ounce, and silver followed suit, closing at $14.54 an ounce. And in Going Fiji tonight, Fiji Ports Corporation has developed a 5-year strategic plan aimed at modernizing their respective ports. Fiji Port Chief Executive Vajira Piasina says an overseas consultant has been engaged to outline the necessary works required to upgrade their systems. Piasina says they plan to move into a completely automated system using technologies such as vessel traffic management and enhancement of piloted services, to name a few. Piasina says most of it will be known in the first quarter of next year.
The management is currently doing a lot of work on this because it's a 5-year plan, and then developing of this plan had taken a lot of, our time, because it had to be developed in such a way so that we can make it this more or less like a regional sort of a hub.
And that's a wrap from the business desk for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thanks, Rachel, and good evening. In sports tonight, Guerra signs with a new club in England, and Athletics Fiji concerned with low turnout at trials. Details after the break.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Former Flying Fijians captain Akapusi Ngera has finally signed with a club in England. The loose forward has been a free agent since the end of last season when he left French top 14 club Agen. He's now joined Hartpury in London. A statement from his new club says Ngera has been training for the last few weeks and is close to match fitness. The final paperwork signing the flanker over will be completed this week before he's eligible for selection. Fiji Mbati star Jared Hayne will fight allegations that he sexually assaulted and injured a woman in his New South Wales. Athletics Fiji is concerned about the poor turnout of athletes in their weekly trials ahead of the 2019 Pacific Games. Head coach Albert Miller says they're slowly building up momentum and are hoping to rope in quality athletes as soon as possible so they have ample time to prepare. Meli Tavanga reports.
Low turnout of athletes has worried the Athletics Fiji officials as they drawing closer to the games. They're now keeping their fingers crossed that other athletes show up and try their luck.
We're really running very low or thin in most of the events. Sprints we are very well represented. But as we know in athletics, it's not only about sprints, it's jumps and the throws. So we're hoping to get more people in the next few months.
Head coach Albert Miller says they're not looking at the quantity but the quality of athletes.
As we get closer to the games, hopefully not too close, we'll be able to attract more quality athletes. The more athletes will come and take part.
Meanwhile, Team Fiji chef de mission Patrick Bowers says they're ensuring all athletes are to put in their best and be recognized at the games.
Is it about winning gold and maintaining, or winning or giving it your best shot and not winning a medal, but just getting to the games? And of course, just getting to the games is not a good enough attitude or a goal. We've got to make sure that we prepare well and we go and perform to the best of our ability. And for some of the younger athletes,
Athletics Fiji is aiming at taking 25 athletes, which consists of 10 men and 15 women at the 2019 Games, which run through the 7th to the 20th of July in Samoa. Melitavanga, FBC Sports.
NRL Warriors coach Stephen Kearney has spoken for the first time since star playmaker Sean Johnson's departure, insisting he likes the halfback. As the pre-season continues, attention is starting to turn to who will take his place. Chelsea Football has suspended 4 fans for a racial attack on Manchester City's Raheem Sterling. The abuse happened in City's 2-0 loss to Chelsea on Sunday. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather, and in tonight's new media, learn how to use voice controls with YouTube videos. Details on that after the break.
Nalang golesenya, Obama kita benakas, dorong-dorong binakape, na radio fijuan, nandong may ayaw benyana, kita barongon na radio fijuan, nandong may wisi, hinatoka.
Guado ilaisa hinatoka, rong-rong binana heramakawa ina radio fijuan hingatoka.
Radio Fijuan, nandong may viti.
In tonight's new media, we take a look at how you can use YouTube playback on Android devices. Weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's been a fantastic day with heaps of sunshine, great day for picnic, and who says you can't have picnic on a Tuesday? The weather is getting better by day, and since Christmas is coming, it's even nicer. Hope you're planning your lovos from now. Taking a look in the west, quite mild. The sun was glowing, a very beautiful day here. Eastwards from Pakaba to Suva, it was a bit gloomy today, but afterwards it went fine. And up north, another amazing day was witnessed here. At sea, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 10 p.m. and low tide at 4:23 a.m. Sunrise at 6:24. For tomorrow, little showers here and there, but otherwise it will be clear as a crystal. Tomorrow's temps, all centers will be hitting the lower 30-degree range. And looking further on to Thursday, slight showers again, which will clear off. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji and Pulse tonight, we asked, should there be more awareness on typhoid during the festive season?
People should be more aware of what they consuming, since nowadays water are being used a lot. We use it in every festive season, and people should boil water before they drink it. Especially for the children, small babies, they should boil the water before they drink it.
Yeah, I think awareness should be done this season, because there's a lot of people moving around this season, moving from places to places.
Let's put the adult society, we'll talk about the kids. Children around this time, they would like to go to the villages, and around the villages, if they are not aware of this, what typhoid is, then these children are vulnerable to typhoid.
People, please consume a lot of clean and fresh water, because our hygiene is more important.
I believe there should be more awareness done on this festive season, because families will come together.
I think yes, because we mostly deal with food during this festive season.
There should be more awareness for the typhoid during this season for Christmas.
Recapping the main stories for tonight, 24 hours given to serve petitions, social media critics won't help health sector, and MPs given more resources. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, should we continue roping in age group players into the 7 squad? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day is an absolutely beautiful sunset one from Vawatara Levuka in Ovalau. This was sent in by Alvin Matilda Prasad. What a spectacular view. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नम्बुआ से। जैसे प्रेनी नॉर्थ मशहूर है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है, वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।